Shalom, shalom, yasha'Allah, shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. Giving, of course, all honor and glory, praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Right? Secondly, coming back to y'all with another video. Right? There's spirit power, Mahashak Yahweh Shah. And, and giving a hearty shalom to the brethren and sisters out there in this truth that are enduring the trials and tribulations, that are pushing this word any way they can, right? And then being profitable to the ministry, right? So I like to start off with 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 57, right? Why? Because basically we're in the last days, and so basically we're in a war. We're in a spiritual war, right? So if we're in a war, right, we're in the battlefield, right? Verse 57, let's prove that. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, right? Now, man that is born upon the earth, they got to fight a war, right? And that war isn't against flesh and blood, but against principalities and darkness, right? Let's go to that in Galatians, right? This is Galatians chapter 6, I believe, or chapter 7, or 5, right? Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16, right? This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, right? For the lust of the flesh for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to another, so you cannot do the things that you would. So basically, our flesh is against our spirit, right? And against the spirit of the Most High. So that tells us, right, that we're in a war, right? Remember, our weapons aren't carnal, but are spiritual, right? So if we're in a war, we got to get up, right? We got to labor, right? We got to fight this fight, right? Hey, let's go to 2nd Timothy, right? 2nd Timothy, I believe. Or 1st Timothy, chapter 6, verse 12. It says, fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses. So we got to fight that good fight of faith, right? We got to fight that good fight of faith, because our fight is not against, it's not against flesh. It's not against a man, right? Our fight is not against man, right? We're not on that carnal level. We're against spirits, principalities, the power of the prince of the power of the air, right? And that's who we're fighting against, right? There's spirit, right? Let's go to Micah, right? Micah chapter 4. Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. And it reads, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. Now this is, going into also doing the work, right? Because out there, and the prophets are doing the work on the highways and hedges, right? We're in the battlefield, right? We're in the battlefield. And it says that we got to be in pain and labor, right? To bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. Because a woman, when she's giving birth, she's in great travail, right? For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There thou shalt be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies, right? So we're going to be saved out of Babylon, right? Only if we labor and get up and fight this fight, right? A lot of brothers dying, a lot of sisters dying, right? Falling out this truth, right? So we gotta labor and we gotta push this word, right? We gotta fight. The trials and tribulations. Consider those wars, those battles, right? Every time we lose a battle, we gotta keep fighting, right? We may lose a battle, but we can't lose the war. Let's go to Proverbs, right? Look at Proverbs says this. Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 16, and it reads, for a just man falleth 7 times, A just man, he falls 7 times, right? And rises up again. That word, this 7 isn't actually 7. It's a number completion, right? Let's prove that. Let's go to Psalms 12 and 6, right? Psalms chapter 12 and verse 6. And it reads, "The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times." Now, is it actually purified 7 times? It's talking about a perfected amount of times, right? So if we go back to Proverbs, a just man, he falls, a certain amount of times, right? But he rises up again. So we, in wars, nations that go against each other, they may lose battles. They may lose certain battles, right? They may lose an attack. They might have lost a fortification, a defense, but they gotta rise up again, right? They gotta find it within them to ultimately win the battle. Win the war, right? It says, "But the wicked shall fall into mischief," right? So we gotta fight these battles, right? We gotta fight these battles against the principalities in darkness, right? So let's go to 1 Corinthians, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 16. And it reads, "For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel." Right? Woe is the men out there, right? Woe is us. Woe is the prophets, right? If we preach not the gospel. Why? Because we're ordained to preach the gospel. That's our job. That's our duty, right? Being called into this truth, right? That's our duty. It's our loyalty, right? Because we're soldiers for Mahashiach Yahushua. Let's get that, right? We're soldiers. We got to carry out the duties. We got to carry out the plans. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1. "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Mahashiach Yahushua, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Mahashiach Yahushua." Right? So we got to endure hardness. We got to endure. We got to go through pain. We got to go through tribulation, anguish, right? To come up on top. We got to fight the battles, right? Endure hardness as a good soldier of Mahashiach Yahushua. Hey, these other nations, Slop, right? Hey, so these other nations, they can be soldiers for their nation, right? They can be soldiers for their nation. Why not be a soldier for us? For Yahweh Yahushua, right? And it says, verse 4, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier." Right? So no man that warreth, that goes out to war, entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Meaning that, he's just thinking about home. He's just thinking, man, I don't know if we're going to win this battle, bro. I don't know if we're going to win this war. Hey, their mind is fixated on winning the war. Their mind is fixated on the battle. Their mind is fixated on how to profit their army and their nation, right? Their general, right? That's what they're thinking about, right? That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Who has chosen us to be a soldier? Mahashiach Yahushua, right? Let's get that. John. Let's go to John real quick, right? John chapter 15 and verse 16. "Ye have not chosen me." This is Yahushua talking. "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain, that whatsoever ye ask of the Father in my name, he may give you. So Yahushua has chosen us to be a soldier, right? A soldier for this truth, right? A soldier to endure hardness, right? To fight the fights, right? To fight for him. And today is the day of Simon, right? Happy day of Simon, right? Hey, Simon, he was a valiant man of warfare, right? He was a valiant man of warfare because he was the son of Matthias. Let's get that. So the second Maccabees, right? He was a valiant man of warfare, right? Our forefather. Let's go to First Maccabees, second chapter. First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Euanan, right, called Caddis, Simon, called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar, called Aaron, and Jonathan, whose surname was Epiphius, if I'm pronouncing that right? So, Simon, called Thaddeus, or Thassi, right? So he was the brother of Judas Maccabeus. Judas, another valiant man of warfare, right? So Simon, right? Today is the commemoration of Simon and what he did, right? As you read in the 13th chapter, right? Pushing out the heathen and building up the tower, right? So, most like I'm in 14. So, right? This is First Maccabees chapter 13 and verse 51, right? And entered into it the 23rd day of the second month, in the 171 year, with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with vows and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel. Right? Destroyed a great enemy of Israel. Right? Destroyed a great enemy out of Israel. We're destroying the heathen. If you read this book, we were just destroying the heathen, even our own people that are coons and wicked, right? So we put it down on the heathen, right? So we're men of war, like Yahweh, right? Our God. So let's go to Exodus 15:3, because hey, God is not just all about love; He's also about war. Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord, or Yahweh, is his name. So the Lord, he's a man of war. Wouldn't his people be soldiers then? Right? That only makes sense. If he's a man of war, if he's the general, then wouldn't his people be soldiers? Right? And captains and corporals or whatever, right? Military people. They would be soldiers for him, right? To carry out his duty. Hey, if you read Joshua, he was a great man of warfare. Slaughtering the Canaanites through the spirit power of Mahashak Yahushua Yahweh, right? So, Yahushua, he's about war, right? He's coming back to wage war. Let's go to Revelation chapter 19 and verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. This is talking about Yahushua, right? He doth judge and make war. They don't talk about that in the Christian church, right? Yahushua and his father are men of war, all right? They're not any effeminate men, right? Because in war you go through a lot of stuff. You go through pain, you go through anguish, you go through PTSD, you go through these nightmares, right? You go through death, pain, right? Slaughtering, blood. Hey, let's go to Isaiah, right? Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. Right? Hey, soldiers go through a lot of stuff, right? Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. And it reads, For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Right? Every battle of the warrior with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Right? So the soldiers, they go through a lot of stuff. So Yahushua, being a strong man, he went through that too. Or he's going to go through that, you know? And Yahweh, he is a man of war. Right? He's going to wage war in these nations. And he's going to use his people to do it. Right? And his angels. And his son. Right? And with that, I'd like to give a call out Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Hey, we're in a spiritual war right now. Right? Get your sword, which is this word. Right? Get your sword, sharpen it, and go out and do this work. Right? Through the spirit and power of Mahashiach Yahushua. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatham.